Hi, I'm Deanna James, and this is my husband.
Yeah, I'm Colton James, and we own Eden Body Art Studios in Dallas, Texas together. So I was getting some work done at the shop that she worked at previously, and I was getting a sleeve done, and so I was around all the time. I'd seen her on TV, had a big crush on her, and we just kind of started talking from there and started hanging out and been hanging out since then.
I thought he was super cute, and I sort of made my way over to him whenever I could be near him while he was getting tattooed. You know, I've been a tattooer for a long while, and I always sort of thought about maybe opening my own shop, but thought it might be too hard for me personally. When I met Colton, I realized that he's insanely smart and has a great business mind, and he seemed interested in maybe helping me do this, and now has done most of the work, right?
Yeah, she does all the hard work, she does the tattooing. So.
I say you do all the hard work. I just doodle on people for a living, so. What was crazy is that we opened up, during the pandemic, basically. So it was pretty tough, and it was scary opening a business in the pandemic because you never know. But it seems like people were still spending money on tattoos. Luckily, Texas wasn't shut down for too long, maybe around 2 months. But I think the worst part is that we opened up a week before snowpocalypse in Texas, the big snowstorm.
Yeah, we were open for a week, and then when it snows in Texas, everybody freaks out and everything shuts down. So we were open for maybe 4 days, and then we had to close for another 4 days.
Luckily, our shop was fine, but it was a little devastating when that happened, just right after we opened.
Do take the time to find a location that works for you. It can be really difficult opening up a tattoo studio, given that landlords don't want a tattoo studio in their space, and zoning laws can be pretty difficult. But when you find that space that works for your business, it really is worth it to take the extra time to make sure that that works for you.
Do not stretch yourself thin. Do the thing that only you can do. Hire everybody else to do the rest of the things so that you have the ability to focus on your artwork. I know one thing I really wanted to have in our shop was have our artists only do the things that only they could do and then pay someone to do the rest. So all we have to do is tattoo, and then we have our books taken care of. We have our photos, being taken in our photo room, and the content creation and the benefits, and we're really taken care of. So I think with that, our shop has run fairly smoothly.
Yeah. Do figure out all the logistical stuff beforehand, before everybody's in the door, before there are clients in, and before you start tattooing. You want to make sure that when you open your doors, your process is streamlined and efficient, and you're ready to take on those clients. So I just try to figure out what's the most efficient way we can do everything. And so it took me a long time to figure out how to do our booking process, how to do our consent forms, little things like that. And obviously hiring artists, we were just really meticulous about everything. To when we opened the doors, there wasn't much that we had to figure out. We had kind of done the legwork, before we opened up, and came up with a good way to do most things and to run our business.
I know a question I even had when we started working together is, how are we going to separate work and life? Because we work together and we take care of business, but I also want to talk about other things when, we come home from work and we have a whole separate life. And, I think it's really important to just have a time limit during the day of when you're at work and when to kind of shut it off.
Don't let your work life bleed over into your personal life. When we first started out, I was working 6 days a week, and I would come home and do more work. And that definitely put a little bit of strain on us. So it took me a while to figure out how to balance that and to come home and leave work at work, and just be present with her, when we're spending time together. I know one thing that helped me a lot is just turning off my email notifications for the studio when I got home. There's no such thing as a tattoo emergency. Every once in a while, I'll keep an eye out if somebody has an Aftercare issue or something like that. But as far as booking goes, there's nothing that can't wait till the morning. When you're trying to book a tattoo, I would say the things that you should do, send a brief description of what you're wanting, and send a few reference photos of the subject matters that you're wanting in your tattoo. And if you're looking for a specific artist, send some reference photos of tattoos that they've done that you like. And then finally send a picture of your body where you're wanting the tattoo. Make sure it's well lit, have somebody else take the photo, don't try to one-hand it, and just be thorough with your original email. Don't send a whole essay about everything you want in the tattoo and exactly how you want it. Be specific as far as what you want in the tattoo, but as far as how those things are going to lay out, what you want the color palette to be, things like that, that's the artist's job. Let them figure that out.
We spent a lot of years trying to figure that out for you. So all we need trust. So, you know, if it seems like you're going to trust us in this email, then we're on a good start.
Preparing for a new tattoo, I would say to definitely eat a good meal beforehand. Getting tattooed on an empty stomach is one of the worst things that you can do. Stay hydrated the day before, make sure the area is moisturized, and just be ready to sit for a long time. So bring snacks, bring a blanket if you want to, bring water, all that good stuff.
Do not lie and say you hadn't eaten before you come get tattooed, because my Jewish motherly instinct comes out and wants to feed you and make sure you got food in your belly. Things you shouldn't do during a tattoo session is move around a lot. I mean, like, you could text sometimes or, you know, listen to music, but one of the things that I have a lot of trouble with is like what I'm doing when I'm talking, like using my hands. Like if my client is talking and they use their arm, then they're very like, you know, animated, like that's hard. Because I also don't want to be like, hey, can you stop talking or something? You know, if they're very animated, like I feel like that's rude, and I want to talk to them sometimes too. I'm just like, so I just keep telling like, put your hands down, or like, you know, be careful with your hands. Yeah, hypocritical, because I'm like...
And I know for me, when I get tattooed, I'm very ADD, so I like to squirm and move around a lot, so I really have to fight that instinct not to readjust every 5 seconds and just sit still. Yeah, so when you're taking care of your new tattoo, Dan always says less is more. You want to keep it clean, but most of the time, as long as you keep it clean, then you're good. You don't want to over-slather it with ointment. You don't want to leave the bandage on for too long. Wash it lightly, apply a little bit of ointment, lotion after it starts peeling. And yeah, really less is more when healing tattoos.
I always say, I'd rather you do nothing to do something. Like if that bandage falls off, just leave it. I mean, you're fine if you just walked out the door. I've had zero problems with people who have done much less to their tattoo, and everyone that has ever had a problem was because they left their Saniderm on too long, or they put too much ointment on it, or bandaged it, you know, with saran wrap for more days than none. And so less is more.
One thing to do when healing your tattoos, if you have a question, always feel free to reach out to the artist, the shop. I know personally, I definitely will go out of my way to answer those questions as quick as I can, because our artists and myself, we really care about the way that our tattoos heal. I mean, that's a lot of times just as important, if not more important, than how the tattoo's applied. So if you have a question, please reach out. You're not bugging your artist. I'd rather tell you the same thing I've told you 10 or 15 times than you do something that you're not supposed to do.
There is a love-hate relationship with tattooing tattooers. One, I'm flattered. I think, you know, how to spot a really good tattooer is that tattooer tattoos a lot of tattooers. So I'm so honored to tattoo a lot of tattooers. But they really are some of the big babies. I know I'm the biggest baby.
Well,
I'm a huge wuss. I feel like I'm the worst person to get tattooed.